Welcome to the daily briefing from interest.co.nz. I'm David Jaston. Today we look at some rather amazing Australian data out recently. We update our risk premium markers, we check the latest changes to wholesale electricity prices, and finally we'll wrap up with details of what the other media are reporting. There's been a change of government in Australia and now a general expectation of some changed directions there as well. Our sister publication interest.com.au follows trends across the ditch, and there have been two of note recently that we'd like to review today. Firstly, the Australian money supply is growing very fast. As you can see from this chart, the year-on-year growth in M3 now exceeds 20%, and that is very fast indeed, way faster than any time in recent memory. The Reserve Bank of Australia is meeting today and will announce its cash rate target tomorrow. While most expect no change, it would not surprise us if they raised it 0.25% or even more. A fast-growing money supply can be very inflationary and will not be wise for the central bank to dawdle. That fast growth in the money supply is being used to purchase imported goods, both for consumers and business investment. This has produced a stunning deterioration in their trade balance. An overheated economy will do things like this, and this could be another reason the RBA needs to act with a rate hike. We will know on Wednesday. While New Zealand wholesale swap rates have been hovering around the same level for a month or so now, the benchmark risk-free US Treasuries have seen significant falls in yield. This is causing a very big risk premium to open up for us, and it pushed on higher this past week. The one-year premium is now up to almost 5.5%. This time 2 months ago it was 100 basis points lower. At the end of June it was 200 basis points lower. It has more than doubled since mid-2006. These are major changes. The primary effect is the sovereign risk, the difference between the yields on New Zealand and US government stock. That accounts for all but 30 basis points in this rise. Overseas, the premium shows up between the US Treasuries and commercial bond rates. Perhaps the markets are suggesting that New Zealand's sovereign issues are as risky as a bond offer from a well-regarded multinational. The weather has been fine across the country, especially in the hydro catchments. Lake inflows have been at half average levels in the past week. At the same time, electricity demand has been growing quite fast. In fact, it is up more than 3% in the past week alone. That is 3% more last week than the week before. The combined effects of low rainfall and high demand has been fast falling lake levels. They are now at less than 80% of normal storage for this time of year, and the fall has been quite fast. This time last month, about the same time we did this review previously, lake levels were at 100% of average. This time last year we were at 130% of average. Wholesale electricity prices are now moving up and are currently just below $50 per megawatt hour. This market is responding to the supply and demand signals. As you can see from the chart, when the lakes were full last year, prices slipped well below $20 per megawatt hour. But we're not going to get to that level this year, at least not without some substantial new rainfall in the lakes catchments. And finally today, a wrap-up of some other items of interest. Last week we reported that Lombard Group, the listed parent company, had reported a $3.5 million loss. Today their finance company subsidiary, Lombard Finance and Investments, reported a $4.5 million profit before tax. The New Zealand Herald has an interesting front page story about an investor in Capital and Merchant who was paid back his $40,000 deposit a few days before they were placed in receivership, only to find out that 3 days later those monies were reversed from his bank account without his authorization. Gold and oil prices are retreating somewhat from recent highs. Gold reached $830 an ounce at the beginning of last week, but today started trading in New York at about $790 an ounce. You can get more news and start with Newsmaker Views on our news page. Join us again tomorrow for the freshest finance news on the web. We'll see you there.